Welcome to CrashRacer. In this video we are going to have a go at Formula Retro Racing World Tour. So there's quite a few game options on this game: arcade, eliminator, free practice, but we are going to do a Grand Prix. You can pick as many races as you want, but we're just going to do a 4-race Grand Prix starting at Montreal. We'll try the expert difficulty, see how that works out. So here we are then. Right at the back of the grid it puts us. That's one of the shames about the game, really, especially in the Grand Prix mode. I think it would be really good if they had some sort of qualifying mode first, where you could try and set a lap time to get you a different position on the grid. But yeah, right at the back we start. Let's see how we get on then. So it's a really simple game to play. Old style retro graphics, the old polygon graphics. But they're pretty good and really simple to control as well. It's just about trying to take these corners quite well and trying to get your speed. It doesn't seem, from what I've seen, I've not managed to spin the car out yet, so I don't think taking a corner too fast will make you spin out. But as I've just demonstrated there, taking a corner too fast, what will happen is you will go wide into the gravel that's at the side of all the tracks, and that really slows you down. You can of course get damage as well if you go too far off the side of the track and hit the barriers on the outside. You can get damage, and likewise, as I've just shown there, you can get damage by hitting other cars. But as you saw, I've not got any damage from that, so even fairly light hits won't do any damage at all. You've got to hit another car or a barrier quite hard to get some damage. So again, as yet, I've not managed to wreck my car by getting too much damage, so I've not seen what happens. I assume your car just breaks down and that's your end of the race, but I've not actually done that yet. So I think you can hit quite a lot of other cars without getting too much damage for that to happen. Okay, up into 7th place now then. Fairly nice track to race on, lots of right angle corners. Apart from this one we're coming to now. Down this final straight section you've got the chicane coming up. Just try and get a good line through there and power through for the end of the lap. Still 7th place then as we start lap 3. Yeah, it's a really good fun game to play though, this one. And we're going to do four races and a little mini Grand Prix, 5 laps in each race, see how we get on. There's definitely some room for improvement for the game. I think there's just a few easy extra bits they could have added that would have made it really nice. Like I said before, the qualifying, that would have been a good addition, I think. Also, I think if they'd have put a pit lane in and you could do pit stops, I think that would have been really good fun. You know, if they'd have put in some sort of tyre degradation, that as you do so many laps, or if you were maybe run into the gravel or hit barriers of other cars, your tyres degrade, and then you can obviously that would affect your lap time, and then you could maybe go into the pits and quickly change your tyres. That would I think really make for an interesting addition. They have got a slipstream on the game. We've not really seen it yet. We'll probably see it in some of the other races, so that's quite a nice touch, the slipstream. But again, I think they could improve that, because you've got to be really close to the car in front before the slipstream takes effect. So by the time you get into the slipstream of a car, really you've got to be pulling back out again to overtake and not hit the back of the car in front. We've got a bit of a group of cars in front of us. Well, we're now 4th position. There's about 6 or 7 cars, so some of these are going to be back markers like that one. But as we come down the straight, is that a back marker? Yeah, so probably the 3 leaders ahead of us are going to be in this group. There's a bit of a crash, and we've managed to sneak through the middle without hitting any of them. Okay, over the line then for the last lap, and we're up into 3rd place. And that is going to be the 2 leaders ahead of us. That's going to be 2nd place there. Whoops, and I've just overcooked that slightly and run off into the gravel, so slowed down again. Can we manage to catch these cars in front before the end? I'm getting there slowly. There's the leader as well in the distance going around the corner. Okay, onto this long straight section, but we have got the chicane as well. We are still quite a way back, nothing really behind us, so We've got third place in the bag. Oh, we've managed to sneak through on the chicane up into second place. Leader is across the line though, so we are going to get a second place. That's not too bad. So we've got a little overall standings leaderboard as well. Second place, of course, at the moment, 9 points behind the leader. Okay, let's try another track. As you can see, there's a lot of tracks to try. We'll go to the Rome one now, and as you collect points by doing these different races as well, you can unlock more tracks. I don't know how many there is in total, but there's certainly quite a few. Yeah, let's give Rome a go. Again, of course, starting right at the back. As you can see from the map, the maps are quite good actually. They give a really good indication of whereabouts on the track you are and what corners you've got coming up. And as you can see from this one, this Rome track has got a lot of long straights, so we can really get the power down on some of these. Just got to try and take the corners nicely as well. Okay, I've got a bit of a left-hander hit here, and then we've got a really fast section. See if we can make some places up here. Yeah, maps are really good for seeing where you are and what corners are coming up, but also the tracks are marked really well. They've got really good signage on the sides. Whoops, sorry my friend. Look at that though, really big hit from behind, and you can see I've not really got that much damage. You could probably do about 10 of those hits and still be okay. Run wide there. But as I was saying, yeah, the signage on the sides of the track is really good to show what corners are coming up, which direction they are as well. Got a little bit slipstream there, as you can see. As you can see there, it's not enormous, and like I say, by the time you get it, you've got to pull out, so you don't get really the full effect of it. But it's still a nice touch. Okay, there's the end of the first lap then, and we're up into 8th place. Leader, by the look of the map, is quite a way ahead. We've got some catching up to do. Lots of skids as we go around the corner, but as I say, I don't think you can spin out. We're in these Formula 1 cars, and I think there might be about something like 5 choices of design of Formula 1 car. I don't think it makes any difference to performance which car you choose. I think they're all exactly the same. And then you've also got a big choice of what colour design you want as well. There's a lot of different options of what colour you want your car. And then as well as the Formula 1 cars, I've seen, I think there's something like, oh, big crash on the inside there, something like saloon cars as well. So again, you can choose those, and again, there's different designs of those you can pick. And I haven't really played with those much yet. I might have a go at them at some point in the future. But they seem to, rather than the Formula 1 cars driving around the corners planted to the tarmac like these are, the saloon cars seem to sort of have some sort of drift. They drift around the corner. As soon as you turn, instead of turning around the corner, the back end steps out and you slide around the corner. So yeah, we'll perhaps give them a bit more of a go, but I've really only played with the Formula 1 cars much at the moment. Up into 4th place then. Can't see 3rd at the moment, I don't think. Towards this really tight right hand corner. Oh, managed to take it okay. The amount of times I've run wide at that one. It really is a tight corner, that one, and so easy to go wide into the gravel. Still got to 5th place right behind us. Up to maximum speed, just about 300 kilometers per hour. And over the line, 2 laps to go then. Our new fastest lap, just about a minute that lap. Can we see any of the cars ahead of us? We've got to be able to see them as we come onto the straight section, surely. Yeah, there's some just in the distance. Obviously they might be back markers. There's quite a group actually. Yeah, there's about 6 or 7 cars in the immediate section in front of us, so some of those are going to be back markers. Whoops, and again I've overcooked that tight corner, and we have lost a place because of that. There's a big crash. Can we manage to pick our way through? Yeah, we're through. Again, as you've seen, you don't normally lose too much time anyway if you hit another car anyway, and our damage has actually gone up. I didn't see when that went up or how. I think it must have been when we ran wide and I went into the gravel, but I also touched the barrier, I think, so I'm guessing that's when it was. Okay, final lap then. 4th place. Is that for position? No. Still in 4th. That car in front looks fairly quick, so that might be for position. Yeah, up into 3rd place now then. Quite a gap forward to the next car, so don't know if we'll be able to gain any more places before the end of the race. And 4th place is still fairly close behind us. Yeah, this is, as you saw at the start, this is expert difficulty, so the AI are fairly quick, but as you can see, certainly beatable. And you can configure, I've set this to 5 laps, you can configure how many laps you want. Oh, that looked like a helmet rolling across the track there. So the car ran into me and the driver lost his helmet. That's not a great safety feature. Okay, I think we are just about done. Yeah, leader and 2nd place are probably over the line, so we are going to have to settle for a 3rd place. Let's see what that does to the leaderboard. Still in 2nd place, but now 24 points behind the leader. Okay, let's just do another one. Let's go for the Indiana Oval. Yeah, that might be a little bit different. Let's see how this works out. So again, we'll do 5 laps, so I'm guessing this will be quite a quick race. See if there's anything different at all with this one. Maybe slipstream might come into play a little bit more around a track like this. Lots of different game modes as well, as you might have seen on the original screen. Like say, you've got the Grand Prix modes. You can choose how many races you want to do, how many laps, all that sort of stuff. But then there's also an arcade mode. There's a free practice mode where you can just drive around trying to improve your times. And there's also an elimination mode, which is quite interesting as well. With that one, I think you have to stay, I think it's 10th place or higher. Out of the 20 cars, you have to try and stay in the top 10, which at the start, like now, is fairly easy. But then in that elimination mode, every lap you complete, the AI get slowly faster and faster, until eventually, of course, you start dropping back and aren't able to stay in that top 10, at which point that game mode finishes. Okay, we're up into 6th place. Got a little bit of slipstream again. Very hard to get into the slipstream, and by the time you've done it and you're starting to get the effect, you've got to pull out again. There we go, just a quick burst, and then by the time I pull out, obviously we're going to struggle to get past. We are through though, up into 4th place. Where is 3rd? 3rd is right in the distance. We're already pulling away from the cars behind. Yeah, very short race this one, so we are going to struggle, I think, even to get maybe 3rd place. Podium might be a struggle. There's been a bit of a crash here though, and the 3rd place has just ploughed through, and we have gained a place, so it must have been one of the lead 2 that was involved in that crash. So we might grab another place here as we cross the line. Last lap then. Up into 2nd. Where's 1st place? That is 1st place, I think, just in sight towards the end of the straight now. So unless they have a crash, we're going to get a 2nd place. Not too bad. Through we come. Yes, that's a nice quick race, being just a short oval track. Still in 2nd place on that leaderboard. Okay, let's just try one more race for this Grand Prix, and we'll try the Sao Paulo Drift.
Start your engines.
In Brazil then for this one, there's quite a few tracks around memorable places and iconic locations, and they've put some some of the iconic buildings, if you like, around those different tracks, which is quite a nice touch as well. Oops, come on out of the way. Wow, this track looks quite a technical one. Lots of corners in this one. Oh, and I'm going to be running off into the gravel quite a lot, I imagine. Again, signage on the side of the track, really good, showing which way the corners are going, so you can use that as well as the map to see where the corners are. Up into 12th place then. This is going to be quite a long lap round here as well, by the look of it. Whoops. Okay, we've sneaked past up into 9th place. Can we get around the outside of this one as well? Yeah, there's another place. Just a right-hander up here then, according to the map. Oh, we've just wide but held it, and we are through into 5th maybe, as we come across the start line just about. Up into 5th place. Right, let's have a look at the map. Lead 4 aren't too far ahead actually. There's 4th place, just there. Yeah, it's definitely a good, fun game. This one, I'd recommend it. It's fairly cheap to buy. Not sure quite what the longevity is going to be. How whether I'll still be playing this in 6 months' time, but it's certainly good fun and a bit of a different challenge. It's quite nice how they've done the obviously the retro style of gameplay and graphics. As I say, I don't know if they will support it at all and extend the features, but there's definitely some room for improvement. And whoops, if you can't go around them, go through them. Definitely some room for improvement. Features they could add, like I say, the qualifying for the Grand Prix, pit stops. There's probably a few other things as well. They could probably improve some of the things like the damage and also the slipstream as well. I think they could definitely improve. That would I think that would be much better if that kicked in slightly earlier when you got behind a car. There is a multiplayer option as well. I don't think there's an online option, but there is a multiplayer option for people playing on the same console. We are up into 3rd place then, and can we see 2nd and 1st? They're not too far ahead. Yeah, they're 2nd, just locking up the brakes. Say locking up the brakes, I mean that's how the brakes work on this. As you can see, as soon as you touch the brakes, the wheels sort of lock up. It's very much a brakes on or brakes off. It's not a very analog system. We are up into the lead though, with about a lap and a half to go, something like that. Just got to try and keep the car on the track, because getting it over onto the gravel just does waste a lot of time, which of course what it's there to do. That's the key bit of the game really. Keep it on the tarmac, keep it off the gravel. Coming into some back markers soon, about 3 back markers on the track, and 2nd and 3rd are still not too far behind. Got a little straight section here before we come to this corner here and onto the straight. Okay, over we come then for the start of the last lap, and we have got quite a good lead over the 2nd and 3rd cars. So if we can just have a fairly clean lap, that's probably good enough. Don't have to do anything too special, and we might get our first win. Oh damn, that onto the gravel, wasted a bit of time. Yeah, it'd be interesting if this is our first win on what is probably the most difficult and technical of the tracks that we've raced, and I've certainly not raced this particularly well. Probably not as well as I have some of the other tracks, but of course I think it's the length of the track has meant I've had more time to catch up and overtake the cars that have set off ahead of us. Okay, through this last section here, down this straight, tight right onto the home straight, and we should be through. Power down, watch this back marker, and over the finish line for a win. Is that going to be good enough to get us first in the standings? No, we've closed the gap a little bit, but no, 2nd place. Well, that's the end of this video, and I hope you've enjoyed watching Formula Retro Racing World Tour, and see you soon.